Hi, my name's Amy. Thank you for joining me. This video is pretty overdue. It's been 4 months since I last uploaded, and that's because I've been in a bit of a slump in general. I haven't really done any stitching or reading, and so I didn't really have very much to update you on. I did have a little bit of a revival of interest when I went on holiday to Brighton. So I went to stay by the sea for a couple of days and had just a bit more time to myself to focus on stitching and reading. So I did get a little bit done, and then it sort of slumped back down again. But I'm determined to give myself a clean slate, get this video out the way, and then get back on with stitching and reading. So not a very long video because I don't have an awful lot to show you, but one of the things I started and finished was this Beach Huts little bookmark. So I got this pattern in Brighton, and I wanted to start it whilst I was there, but then just didn't get round to it. But afterwards it was sort of a nice little memento of my time there and how much I enjoyed it. So it's little beach huts with a little bit of back stitching, a nice quick stitch, which I thought was going to completely bust my slump, but then I didn't really do anything else after that. Prior to that, I had done a new start, which was the Long Dog Samplers Lo and Behold. So I started this one, but I didn't get very far. So this, I've done a little bit of the, that's the border of the first page of the pattern. And then I've started with the crocodile, and then it'll say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I'm doing this in 311 blue. So I'm hoping that if I pick this one up, it'll work up quite quickly because it's all the same colour and I don't have to stop and start. That has been my problem with my main piece, which is my woman reading. This pattern was from a seller on Etsy, and it's 100% confetti. So it's just really, you really have to concentrate on it to be counting and making sure you're in the right place, and all the colours are very similar. So I really enjoy working on it, but I do have to be in the right frame of mind. I'm now at the point where I'm reaching her head. So I've come across here, I'm doing like the top row, so I've got to about here. I thought that if I worked on it every day, it would take me about 2 years to do, and I haven't picked it up for the last 4 months. So we're definitely looking at a lot longer time scale for that one. But they're going to be the two pieces I'm really going to focus on for the next month, see how much progress I can make on those before I let myself start on anything else. And yes, also had a reading slump, so I blame this book completely, the Ophelia Girls by Healy. I thought this was going to be an amazing book for me. I loved the colour, I loved the navy blue, the flowers and the gold. It's the Ophelia Girls, so it's referencing the painting of Ophelia that was done by the pre-Raphaelite painter. I've forgotten which one it was, but I'll do the picture, you know the one. I really like the pre-Raphaelites. I thought this would be just the perfect book for me, and it was such a struggle. And I don't know why. There wasn't anything I could pick out that was like wrong with the book. It just didn't really grab me, and I think I just built it up in my head so much that I was going to enjoy it, that when I didn't, it just put me off reading altogether. So it took me a really long time to finish, and I generally only read one book at a time, so I didn't pick up anything else. So when I finally did finish it, and it was all right, I moved on to The Thursday Murder Club by Osmond. So this was a bit of a viral book. I'd been gifted this for Christmas by my brother, and this read so fast. It's like cozy crime, so it's a retirement community, and the residents there sort of have a club where they look at past case files, and then there's appears to be a murder, so they get involved in looking into that, and it was just such a fun page turner kind of book. So yeah, that was a good one to get me back into reading. And then because I was away on holiday and I was spending a lot of time on the train going to and from Brighton, I decided to read The Reader on the 627. So this is a strange book. It's about a guy who goes to work every day on the train, and during the commute he takes out a random page of a book and reads it out loud to the other passengers. And he only has the odd page because he saved them from a book pulping machine, which is where he works. So he's sort of giving these books their like last chance to be heard, just like extracts from them. But it goes into a bit of a caper of trying to find a woman that he's found like the memory stick of a diary of, and something else to do with like tracking down other books for... It's just a bit odd. It sort of reminded me of Amelie, the film, that it was like sort of quirky and about different quirky people's lives. There were some descriptions in it that were just surprisingly graphic for what you would think from what I've said, but I don't want to give too much away. I don't know. So I mostly enjoyed reading it, sort of winced through reading other bits of it. Possibly would recommend. If that sounds interesting, then maybe you'd enjoy it. And then the other one that I finished was The History of Love by Nicole Krauss. So this, I don't know how to explain this one. So there's a woman who is translating a book, and her daughter decides that to help her mother find love, she's going to track down the author of this book. But the author is perhaps not who we think it is. Possibly the best way to describe it. I found this was a little bit of a tricky one at times, because some of it's to do with Polish people in the Second World War, and having to like leave their lives behind to try and escape, and some people not making it, and that sort of juxtaposed against the sort of flippant like humour of the teenage girl was just a bit odd at times tonally, but I think the author was going for that, so it's not really a criticism, it's just sort of, again, not a very comfortable read. So yeah, I haven't been massively successful in my reading. What am I looking forward to reading next? I'm really keen to read this one, which is The Binding by Bridget Collins. Again, the cover called to me. This is another book about books, but it's more of a fantasy. So it's set in a universe where you can bind secrets and memories into books, and then you would forget about them. And it follows a bookbinder's apprentice, so that we get to discover how all that works. And some secrets, imagine you could hide a secret forever. Yeah, breakout sensation of the year, but I haven't heard of it or this author, I don't think. I just found it in a charity shop. So that's what I'll be reading next. So that was a very whistle-stop tour of the past 4 months of what I've been up to. I really hope that I can come back in the end of September and tell you a lot more about what I've been doing and have a lot more to show you. So hope you're all well, take care, and I'll see you soon.